Believers, if you were tagged in this video, it's because something that you guys should know. So Black Indie Bros, a couple years ago, Marvel decided to come out with the blackest black superhero issue they've ever came out with. This had over 30 black superheroes in it. And it's all good and gravy. It's never happened before. This book is historical. But way back in 2012, a bunch of black independent creators got together and they came up with this. It's called War of the Independents. And when I tell you it is jam loaded with the who's who of black independent superheroes, that's an understatement. This book came out back in 2012. The front cover was done by Larry Stroman. I mean, this is an historical book to own. Prior to this, nothing like this has ever happened before. So if you were tagged in this video, this is a call to let's make this happen again. Get with some partners that you know that also do what you do, and let's try to triple this. And if you need some help, hit us up at blackcomiclords.net.
It all started with a little video made by our boy Herschel Lewis last year. Herschel threw up the proverbial hat and challenged the Black indie community to step the game up and try and produce something historical. Tony Kittrell, Joe Illidge rose to the challenge. And what we have now, we warned you was coming. We told you it was coming. And the day is here. The biggest, blackest, best Black indie graphic novel of all time, Epiphany Engine, is here. To talk about it, explain it, break it down for those of you who've been living under a rock and are maybe unfamiliar, is Mr. Joe Illidge. What's up, Joe?
Paul, good to see you this evening.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure, brother. So tell people what exactly is coming.
So, to the origin story that you pointed out, starting with Herschel Lewis and Tony Kittrell, publisher, owner of Advent Comics, and Advent Comics is celebrating their 15th anniversary this year. He put out a post on Facebook, I think it was in August of last year, and invited Black indie creators and publishers to take that challenge and make it a reality and see if there was true mass unity in the community that could take War of the Independents, the concept behind it, to the next level. And I was one of the many people that saw that post, and it was pretty amazing to see. And so that was really the beginning of the Epiphany Engine. He reached out to me in October, invited me to come along as editor, main editor. So what it is it's a 192-page graphic novel. And that graphic novel is the crossover event that brings together dozens of Black indie publishers, characters, and creators into one story, a full 192-page story that centers around a family of 5 Black scientists and explorers called the McCallie family, and how a nemesis basically scatters them throughout the multiverse, and it's going to take the multiverse of Black characters from the last 30 years of publishing to save them, to all unite, and to save the multiverse. So this is a fictional, and it's also a metafictional event, right? The Epiphany Engine is not just an invention in the story. It is truly this culmination of all of us at this point in time, which, to speak about fate, and Tony can speak to this more, this month is the 77th anniversary of the publication of All Negro Comics #1. And it is the 31st anniversary of the publication of Static #1. And when you talk about Black superheroes that have had an impact on global culture and have changed lives, Static is in the Mount Rushmore. There is no doubt about it whatsoever. He's in that Mount Rushmore, that four. So that is what the book is. And we launched it on Kickstarter because, in the spirit of independence and Black collective entrepreneurship, crowdfunding is the most direct way to see this book realized. And the book is already in progress. We did not, as a community, wait to get the money to start the book. The book is already begun. And as you go to the Kickstarter campaign, you see a variety of truly stellar covers, truly stellar and diverse, and some amazing pages by some amazing talents.
And we're gonna show some of that work tonight, just give people a little taste of what they can expect from this project. But I want to highlight something you just said. The work has already started. You've got over 50 creators, or is it creators or publishers?
It's, I would say, over 50 creators. I think we're talking about, at this point, 45 publishers.
45 publishers, over 50 creators have, on faith, gone ahead and started work on this book, which makes this Kickstarter so important, which makes this book so important. It is important enough that these creators have taken their talents and their time to contribute to this project. And this is why we need all of you. We'll get more into the plugs later, but we need all of you to support this project through this Kickstarter. But just take a look at the list that we have on the right here of the publishers in this. These are the top Black indie publishers in the business. If you're not familiar with them, please go to the blackcomiclords.net website. Check out Black Indies. They're all listed there. Give us a rundown, Joe, on let's rephrase this. You have a myriad of talent that you guys have assembled. I still can't figure out how you and Tony did it, but you assembled a vast amount of talent for this project. And what I love about what you've assembled is that you have different levels in the careers of talent that you have. You have newer talent, you've got the seasoned talent, the hot talent that's out right now, and you got legends all up in the game. I think we have an assemblage of some of the new young hot shot young guns that you managed to pick and select. I want to know, what was the criteria that you used to select the younger talent, the hot shot talent that you've brought in, that are not as well known, but certainly superiorly talented?
So, it was really Tony that set the criteria, and it was really based on the people that answered the rallying call. So that was a factor. When you start getting into the nitty-gritty of the book, you're talking about aesthetics, right? So this book in its different chapters allows us to explore different genres, whether it's horror, science fiction, fantasy. So it's about, okay, which artist aesthetically will match the tone of this chapter? Which writers are the best writers for this chapter? So, for example, we have a horror chapter, which is centered around the mother of the McCallie family. Her name is Jackie McCallie. She was named after the seminal Black comic book artist Jackie Orms. And so her chapter is written by Colleen Douglas, well known for horror stories I think her latest graphic novel out is called Silk Cotton, and she's written for the Shook Volume 2 anthology with all Black women creators. The artist is David Brame. And so just seeing what those two have brought together speaks to why this thing has to be multi-generational and the beauty of that, right? It's like, as an editor, I love when I open my inbox and I get surprised.
Right.
When you give people an opportunity to flex their muscles instead of editorially asphyxiating them and let them flex. And one thing I have to say about all of the people who have come to this, everybody has leaned in with both feet creatively because they understand that this book is the standard by which other events like this will follow. And when I mean the standard, I don't mean it's the first, because obviously Mr. Lewis spoke to War of the Independents, but of largest scale and most participants, it right now does represent the pinnacle. And so with that comes a responsibility, and everyone intuitively knew it. No one came to this game giving 87%. Everyone's giving 110.
Right. You mentioned that this has been done before. Dr. Wizard, bring up that picture that we have of the sort of quote unquote predecessors to the concept. So, there have been seminal books in the idea of doing crossover stories.
100%.
From DC Comics, you have Crisis on Infinite Worlds. That was an event that DC has tried to replicate time and time again. From Marvel Comics, the Marvel superheroes Secret Wars, they've tried to replicate that time and time again. So much so they're planning a movie to reboot the entire MCU based on that series. And from an independent front, the War of Independence #2 is probably the closest that something like this has ever been done before. But what makes this one different is that this is for us, by us, and it's being done on a much grander scale. And so we have this new talent that Tony's picked out that I'd like to introduce right now. If we could bring those on, Dr. Wizard. On our list, we have Mr. Malachi Bailey.
Hello, everybody.
Mr. Keef Cross. Frederick Littles.
Hey,
Who am I missing?
Hello.
H.W. Peel.
Peete.
Peete.
Yes, sir. The one and only.
All
I
right.
apologize for the video issues, but technical difficulties on this end, but we're good.
Well, that's all right. We're going to make this work. Hey, gentlemen, thank you for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us. Thank you.
All right. So you guys were some of the first to jump on board of this project. Malachi, let's start with you. You're part of Wingless Comics. Really dope company, really dope work.
Thank you.
What brought you onto this project? What inspired you to sign on the dotted line on this project?
When it comes down to it, I'm all about Black excellence. And when I got that Facebook notification on August 31st of last year, it was irresistible. So I'm an 80s baby. I grew up watching He-Man, She-Ra, Thundercats. And for those who are present, who I'm sure you guys are all familiar. So it was pretty much the intro where he has the sort of omens and each of the Thundercats look up and then they start running towards Lion-O. That was pretty much the equivalent of, what happened last summer. Now for me, I've been writing for, pretty much all of my life, but within the last 4 years or so is when I started to get into comic books, for myself. So I did a book called Her. I did a novel series, and then I made the transition to the comic books, thanks to Brian Lambert with Wingless Comics. And it's been a whirlwind of, fun. There has been some challenging times because, of course, with you being a creative, you always want to have the funds to get your books out, but sometimes that's not always a thing. But to be, shoulder to shoulder with my colleagues, to consider them colleagues at this point, instead of being just a consumer at a con, it's a huge honor. Like I'm grateful to be here. I am happy to see my character, being this epic story, and I can't wait to see this blow through the Kickstarter goals. So that's what I'm
Now,
all.
are you allowed to say which one of your characters is going to be part of the story?
Oh,
Is that
my bad. Yes, that would be her. Simply her. The
that's what's
name
up?
of the woman.
Not to be mistaken with the music artist.
No, actually, I came out first with my comic book, but that's a whole other story.
All right, we'll worry about that when the royalty checks start dropping.
Right?
All right, Mr. Peete, New Horizon Comics.
Gentlemen.
You have the character Spirit, do you not? Am I mistaken in that?
No, you're absolutely correct. Spirit, the Woman of Hope, is the first lady of New Horizon Comics. It was a concept that I came up with in 2005, actually. So this has been a long time coming. And it came about due to Nikki Giovanni. I was watching a panel interview, and she basically said, if there's something out there that you want to read and you can't find it, you write it. 3 minutes after that, Spirit was born. So
that's what's up. I was actually looking at that book because I have a 12-year-old daughter, and I always try to find stuff that I thought she might get into. What drew you to this project?
This project, it's actually very similar to what Malachi said. I saw the Facebook post. I saw the responses coming in, and I just connected with Tony. I've known Fred for a while. I've touched a little bit with Malachi here and there, but I was hesitant. I said, maybe I'm not ready, but then something just pushed me in the back and said, go do this, swim. And I dove in with both feet, and I've been, whatever they need help with, I'm willing to do. If I can get it done, I can make it happen. So
now, is Spirit the character that will be your contribution to this endeavor?
No, Spirit is not. It's actually the second character. That book is currently in production, and it's scheduled for release later this year. But Thema, which the name has origins for Queen, it's Beautiful Thema. So it's actually Beautiful Queen. She's my Southside vigilante from Chicago who will hurt you if you like to do bad things to people. And I'm a police officer. So the Floyd riots 2020, that touched me in a couple of different ways. And the Thema character came about because of that. And that allowed me to kind of get some things out internally, being upset, being tired of certain things. But she's the rough. She'll hurt you. She's going to do some stuff on the south side of Chicago alongside Spirit, and she's the one who's going to step in and represent New Horizon Comics and Epiphany Engine. All
right. So, Mr. Keef Cross,
Hey.
sir, I had the pleasure of meeting you back in Brooklyn at the Brooklyn Schomburg
Harlem
Comic Book Festival.
And that,
so you introduced me to the book Day Black. So tell me what character is going to be your contribution, and what brought you into Epiphany Engine?
Yeah, my character is going to be my main character, Merce, and he is a vampire. What brought me to, I guess what initially drew me to it, of course, it was just the kid in me, just that big team up, that big event. But I'm not gonna lie. Initially, I wasn't sure where my character would fit in because I saw everybody that was kind of joining it was very superhero-y. And so at first I wasn't even going to apply. But then my friend Greg Elise was like, yo, you should really submit. And I did. And I'm so glad I did because it just felt good to know that so many creators are really coming together to do something positive because, I've had personal experiences in the industry that left me a little disenfranchised sometimes. So I guess when I saw this come about, it was like I felt really hopeful, you know what I'm saying? And I really wanted to just kind of be a part of it and just to see and show myself that we can really, come together and do things the right way and do things like at a high level, So I just really wanted to be a part of something that is definitely going to be historic, without a doubt, So
now, Keith, you're both a writer and an artist. Are you going to be contributing art to this project as well?
No, I just have a character submitted. That's it.
All right. We'll catch it on volume 2.
Absolutely.
Because your art style is very unique, and I would love to see it in the book.
Thank you.
Mr. Littles.
Hello.
Why is Acre Comics? Been trying to track you down forever, man. You're like trying to duck the Black Comic Lords. I don't know what's going on, but we're gonna get it together. Tell me, what is your character's contribution? What brought you to Epiphany Engine?
So, apologies for not reaching out to you and everything earlier. I've been overseas the last 3 years, serving my military and everything, serving my country. So I'm finally back home. But when Tony reached out to me initially, and let me give Tony his flowers now, because he took on a hell of a task to get as many as over 40 to 70 some odd Black creators and publishers together, talent, to create this project is historic in a way. And so when he posted on Facebook and everything, and I scrolled through the Facebook post and whatnot, I had a little bit of doubts at first, like, do I really want to be a part of this? Do I have the characters? Do I have the talent, the stories to connect with other creators, everything out there? I thought about Magnus at first, but my first thought was there are going to be a lot of people that has a lot of cosmic powers. So the first person that came to mind was my character for Crisis, who doesn't really have powers. He was my Mr. Terrific. He was my Batman, my Deathstroke in a way. And I feel like he can pretty much relate to an individual that really doesn't have superhero-based powers. And so I contributed to this project, this character and everything. And from what I've seen so far, this is very historic. I'm very humble to be truly grateful to be a part of this project along with my peers. And I cannot wait till everybody get this book in their hands.
All right. Well, gentlemen, we're all looking forward to your contributions to the book. And keep it coming. Keep it coming. So we're going to move to our next group because we're running a little behind schedule. Next, we have the creators list. Dr. Wizard, that is your cue. All right. We're missing one person. Where's Brian Hawkins? Did Brian not make it in the building yet? All right, well, we'll get started without him. We have Mr. Bobby Lexx Spencer II and Dwayne Robinson Jr. How you gentlemen doing?
All right.
All right, so you guys are on the list slated as the creators. What does that mean? What is your role in this endeavor?
Bobby, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. So I'm actually going to be one of the interior artists for. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're a little muffled, but we can hear you.
A little bit difficult. How about now?
That's better. Just move into as close to the mic as possible.
Okay. One of the interior artists. So I actually be, penciling the book. Well, part of the book.
Now, what publishers have you worked with, or what other works can people find your work at that they might know?
So I'm the lead artist for C3 Comics, Universe Comics. I've done work for Marvel, Upper Deck, and some companies that I can't mention just yet.
All right. And Dwayne, what's your contributions to this?
Yeah, I'm one of the writers that will be doing some of the interludes that's within the chapters.
But where could we have seen what you've done before?
Well, my company is called Animation Comics and Entertainment LLC, or ACE for short. And we have two different titles. We have one which is my Nightfall Michael's Awakening series, issues 1, 2, and 3. And Nightfall Michael's Awakening is about the main character, Michael Vash, who is going to be included within the story of Infinity.
All right. Well, let me ask you guys, what drew you to join this project? Bobby, let's start with you.
For me, it was the large scale that this was on. Being amongst great peers, people who I've looked up to, and great time, great writers, great artists. And then the undertaking of grabbing all these creators together to make this one large project.
And Dwayne, what about you?
Just really being a part of something big and huge, and I felt like this was something monumental that would last the test of time, even way before I'm done, or maybe even gone. So this is something I really wanted to be a part of, and also show the horror side outside of just that we are more than just superheroes, that we do everything. So I just wanted to really include that as well, and so that's why I decided to do my character, Michael Bash.
All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you. We're looking forward to seeing what your work on this book is, and as just a fan, I appreciate you guys signing up to do this as well. So thank you.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. So, Dr. Wizard, next up we have is the big guns. The big guns. These are the names that you know. Dr. Wizard is apparently considering himself one of the big guns, so he is joining us. He is the big gun of the Black Comic Lords. That's certainly accurate. We can't hear you because you're muted, Derek.
Thank you, Paul. So yes, I am one of the biggest guns. Just kidding.
You're the biggest gun, but I appreciate you being humble.
Yeah. So how you doing, chat? Just wanted to let you know we're still waiting for a few of the big guns to show up. So let me do something quickly here. Let me check with Tony to see if Tony's audio is working.
Let's hope and pray Tony's audio is working.
Tony, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
There we go. There we go.
Tony's
all right. I think you might still be having some tech difficulties here. All right. So we do have.
You guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Man.
Good, good. Sorry about that. It was Gremlins. The Gremlins tried to stop us, but just like the project, they won't get it. We coming.
Yeah.
We coming. We're gonna be here. We're gonna make it happen.
Okay, not gonna hold us back.
We had to get started without you because I know you're having some technical problems, but I'm glad you're here now. First of all, hats off to you, brother. Hats off to you.
Thank you, brother. It was a joint effort that the Black comic book community stepped up. So it wasn't just me. It was all of us. All of us. Everybody affiliated with the project. I thank them all because they stuck in there. I know they had their doubts and was like, this ain't never gonna get done. This is probably gonna be one of those projects that people give us lip service. But they believed in it. They saw it. They stood there as we were grinding and making it happen. And then once they started seeing it, they were like, okay, cool. He gonna do it. And they stuck behind us and they pushed. And we all started coming up here together. So thank you. Thank you to the community.
One of the things, this is the Black Comic Lords. One of the things that why we exist, why we do things like this, is in recognition of the fact that historically a lot of the characters that we love, the ones that look like us, aren't given as much promotion or shine or accolades as they deserve. And moreover, the Black comic creators historically who have worked on various books, various characters throughout the years, have never been given their just due and their flowers, and acknowledgement that they so readily deserve. So having a project on this scale, which is in large part possible because of the doors these legends have opened, I think is important, and I think it's a brilliant sign of the times of the Black Renaissance that we're undergoing right now. Speaking of legends, I think we've got one queued up here. I believe Dr. Wizard.
Here we go.
Mr. Chuck Pat.
Hey, Chuck.
Gentlemen,
How you doing this evening?
I am all right. Thank you.
Good, good.
The Chuck Patton. I didn't honestly, I didn't even know you were going to come on tonight. I just saw a few
Neither did
I had to convince him to come. I mean, the man is legendary. Man is legendary.
It's been a kind of crazy couple of weeks, and honestly, I wasn't going to, but I got a second breath, so that's why I thought, at least come on and say hello. Also, thank everybody. Thank Tony specifically. I thank everybody because you guys inspired me, and you can be in this business for a while. Pardon me, I feel like I'm in a. There I go. I got a little I've been in this business a long time, and the thing I have forgotten the most, especially in terms of comics, how solitary it can be. And no matter what great work you do, unless you're connected to the community you're working with, not only for, you never know if you're effective. You never know if your work is really appreciated until later. Sometimes we need to have our props, not just our props, to be connected during, so we can throw ideas back and forth. What I loved about this when I saw what Tony was putting together and I saw the people involved, I just love the camaraderie everybody got into it. And I know there's, as always, because like I said, you've been in this long enough, you see enough. There's going to be drama, there's going to be conflict. But that was less than just the idea and the enthusiasm and the passion. And my feeling was, you know what? Before I'm gone off this earth, I want to at least have a sense that I contribute. I know I've contributed maybe many times over, more than most people even know. But I wanted to feel like I was connected. I wanted to know new blood's coming up. I've gotten used to that in animation. In comics, I haven't. So that was really my goal in being a part of, is to literally just that, be a part of. It wasn't about ego. It wasn't about, I'm OG and that you guys are the punks. No, none of that bullshit. I've seen enough of that. It was about being connected. It was about watching people come together and show that there's more to this than this pen. And then, stands out and gets attention, and that's the reason we do this.
It looks
there
like
he is,
we
Mr.
have.
Barnes.
Hello, how are you guys doing?
Good. How are you, sir?
Hanging in there.
Rodney Barnes.
That would be me.
When they say big guns, I can't think of a bigger gun than yours. I mean,
thank you. Thank you.
I meant that as a compliment. That probably was.
I took it as a compliment. I just think they could do way better than me.
It's not really phrased. We got Chuck Patton here, legend. Thank you for all your work you did on Vixen, with the character Vixen, by the way, Mr. Patton.
I just did the best I could. It's funny looking at it now and realize I was really a rookie. And what changes I did was big for a rookie. That's about it.
Most of the comics I have from that run is because of the work that you did.
Well, thank you.
And then you got Rodney Barnes. You guys are legends in the game. And, we just finished talking to the young guns that are coming up. But you guys are successful creators. You don't have to do stuff like this, and yet you've agreed to. Why is that? Rodney, let's start with you.
Guilt. I like to try to. I like to try to lend my hand to anyone to most folks who ask, anytime that I can jump in and, join in with some brothers that's trying to do something good for the industry, I try to do what I can.
That's what's up. Chuck, why do you think this endeavor is so important?
Because we have not had enough of our work seen, even at this time. We're seeing it, but it still isn't solid enough. It isn't prevalent enough. I would like to, in my, I just saw somebody I know pop up. Huh? What's up? Anyway, no, I mean, honestly, it's the same reason why I got into the business. I mean, I never thought I'd be the first, second, or third. I just didn't want to be the last. And when I got in there and found out often I was supplying the buttermilk, it wasn't important for me to change things. I knew I changed just by walking through the door. But I wanted to make sure it stayed. I wanted to make sure it grew. And honestly, I wasn't sure. We don't know. We're not prophets. But if we can stay in the moment and inspire somebody in the moment, as I was inspired, then that's our job. I think Rodney just handed down. Guilt even. If that's a motivation to make change, why not? What the fuck? Oh, pardon me. I went in the French.
All right, we're more than 10 minutes in. The censors won't get us for that.
Cool. Me and censors, we don't get along anyway. So,
or else we would have been canceled a long time ago for half the things I've said.
Cancel's that ugly word now. That's the ugly C word that just keeps popping up. But mainly, that's it, man. Is that I wanted to see change. I wanted to see change continue. Change is going to happen, I believe, but I want to see it happen. I wanted to see it. I want to see the roots in. I wanted to see the next generation do this without apology. That we're not apologizing what we're doing. That it will evolve and grow, and these stories come from our experiences because that's our experiences, not theirs. We already saw their experiences. Let's talk about ours. Let's talk about our. We've seen some stories that are popping up now, uncovered, almost like gold, treasure, buried treasure, popping up about legacies and storylines and heroes and characters. And I mean, when I was 7 years old, watching whatever TV series, and then in the little back of my mind going, where are we? I know we are in here somewhere. I've read about this guy, Jean-Baptiste de Sablier, who was one of the pioneers who discovered, I believe, Chicago, Black pioneer. And I know, wait a minute, we know all about Daniel Boone. We've heard a lot about Davy Crockett, but why have we not heard about him? Or York, the story of York, Yeah. I don't even know York even had a last name. So, these stories, we know this experience, whatever that person went through, they had what we didn't even have in our dictum was an adventure. Right. And that's why I'm not I never cared for politics. I'm just not a political guy. But adventures, stories, I want to know that.
Yeah.
This is our way of carrying it out and finally exploring it. Why not? This is territory that we should be involved as much as we are involved with music. Fiction should be in our back pocket as well. So that's a long-winded thing, but thanks for letting me ramble on about that.
No. It's important. I like the historical aspect of what you pointed out. At its core, we're people who our lineage and our heritage involves oral tradition, storytelling. Stories has always been a part of our people.
Yeah.
And this is one of the ultimate forms of storytelling, one in which people like yourselves have made significant contributions in moving the culture forward. And I think this is an opportunity for us to take on our own terms, move the culture forward in a direction that bears towards us and our endeavors and what's important to us, taking our own legacy forward. And I think that's important. So I applaud both you gentlemen for being involved. One of my fellow Black Comic Lords, Angel is Amazing's in the building.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Angel.
Hey, Angel.
Hello, Angel.
I had a question specifically for Rodney because I am a huge fan. I mean, everybody has their legends, but for me, Rodney is like the pinnacle.
Wow.
Could you? You're very welcome. Could you tell us like what part you're gonna play in this historic 192-page book?
I believe I'm writing 8 pages or so. I'm contributing whatever mere writing ability that I have towards one of the stories, and I look forward to adding whatever I have to offer to this great project.
He's actually part of what he's writing is these interstitial chapters that act as the dramatic glue throughout the whole story. There's a very core conflict in this story. Don't want to say it because it'll spoil a major plot point, but this is basically structured as bookend chapters, and then within those chapters are character chapters, but there's one sub-storyline that goes through, and it involves the 2 major characters, and Rodney will be working on that. And I'm going to gush a little because one of the things about being part of the Black comic book community is that we are all connected through the multiversal tendrils. And I first became aware of Rodney because Rodney wrote a standout series that spawned out of a superhero universe that I co-founded called Catalyst Prime. And Rodney wrote a series called Quincredible.
Yep.
And so we were connected that way, but we were also connected because my wife and I are fans of the Boondocks.
Yes.
And I was certainly an admirer of the expert manner in which the first season of Runaways was handled.
Yeah.
And so bringing him into this, having him here, and getting to work with him is pretty amazing. And we were actually both on a panel a week and a half ago at Brooklyn Comic Con.
Yeah, I saw
and so, you know, structurally, this is really an epic book. A lot of people throw out the term graphic novel, and basically what they're talking about is, let's take any superhero and a 6-issue story, and we're going to put it together, and we're going to call it a thing, right? This is a novel told in sequential art form. And Paul, I'd like to address 2 things that you said, if you don't mind. One is you said that because we're the big guns, we don't have to do this. Why are we doing it? I would argue that we do have to do it. The same way that 31 years ago, a 23-year-old young whippersnapper that looked like a smoother version of me walked into the offices of a company called Milestone Comics. And 4 Black men gave me an opportunity when they did not have to. They were already giants. Why did they put their hand out forward? Because if you don't, it ends at your generation. So we have to do it. And in the reference of for us, by us, this is for us, by us, for the world. Black stories are universal stories. And if you have any doubt about that, I remind you that the Black Panther film made $1 billion. Because with all of its blackness, at the core of it was a discussion about civic responsibility, which is a universal thing that everyone can understand. This is a story about a family and how so many crises try to break them apart, but they come back together. The Black family is one of the most resilient mechanisms in the history of humanity. And I think it would be fair to say a number of us are tired of broken Black families in superhero comic books.
Speak on it, Joe.
So this story is about a full, potent, loving Black family that does have to go through personal trials as they go through cosmic trials, and it's going to take a multiversal village to help them reintegrate. That is a story. I don't care what culture you come from. I don't care what lifestyle you have. I don't care how old you are, especially in the times in which we are living, in which the world is burning all around us. You will relate to this book. You will relate to this book. This book is for everyone. It is for us, by us, for the world.
And if I could say something publicly, when the concepts were being put together and we started going down the plot and things we were going to do for that nature, and what Joe isn't saying, when we came to that plot point, I personally was like, there is no other writer who I need to write that but Rodney Barnes. So part of that guilty thing is because I talented that man. I was like, you have to write this part. Nobody else can write it but you, and do it justice. So I'm the guilty person, and I take that because once you see him, and I believe once you see what he writes, it will fit and it'll make sense. It'll make sense.
There's a lot of pressure now.
Now, you
can handle it. You can handle it.
Just a little bit.
Now what am I going to do?
In the long run, one day someone's going to realize that the definition of comics is a lot of pressure.
This is true.
I don't know. I've spoken to many people from what side of the world who's done, specifically European, where they are given they get to treat it like a real book. They get months to draw it, and still the pressure is there. You talk to the Japanese, the Japanese is built into the pressure from the day they walk into a manga studio. So
Right.
I mean, to do comics, and I had this said to me, or at least responded to someone when they were talking about, when you come with an idea, I goes, well, first off, you gotta understand, this is not a hobby. Hobby means you take your time. This is a business. This is a job. This is a career. This is endeavor. This is effort. This is something that, you don't wake up one day and tell yourself, I think I'm going to do a comic. You can, but I would guarantee it would take at least 30 years of you learning what the hell that means before you can even do it.
Yeah.
So you got to come to this with a commitment, a belief of your abilities, and not only wanting to tell a story, but how to tell that story. And you're going to evolve from it. Because I guarantee you, if you start where you end, you're going to change. It's going to be effort.
Yep. There you go.
I want to, first of all, shout out to Jeffrey Thorne. Keeps popping up in the chat. Appreciate you, Jeffrey.
He's hiding.
Jeff Thorne.
He's on stealth mode.
Thank you for the super chat, and thank you for all who have donated super chat to it. Black Comic Lords, we appreciate it. Helps us to keep the lights on. What I'd like to do is to take a look at the book, because we've got some images, and we got Joe, we got Tony here. Want to run through some of these images, Dr. Wizard, and let's give people a taste of what they can expect.
Nice.
So
those are a couple of the covers for the book. On the left, going from left to right, you have Kanan White. He did that cover, and Walt Barner colored it. It shows the McCallie family with the villain Absalom. And on the right, you have the McCallie family drawn by Jamal Igle, another superstar who lends his talent to the project.
You didn't go for you really head out swinging when you were finding talent for this project, weren't you?
Well, see, when I started from day one, and everybody was saying, "Oh, you should lead it," I was just going to be a part of it initially, but when they were like, "You need to lead this project," I had a mandate. And people got sick of me saying it, but I meant it. And I meant it then, I meant it now. That if I did this book from top to bottom, there would be nothing but talent on it. So if you weren't one of the best writers, you weren't one of the best artists, best colorists, cover artists, inkers, you weren't touching this book. I meant that because this is so important to the Black community that we only get one opportunity to do this and do it correctly. That way, we have to show people, hey, look, this is serious. This is serious business here. So I wasn't going to give this project less than 110%, and I demanded that I bring everybody else along who would give it that same attention and that same desire. So that was my mandate, to have just the top working on this and show people that Black creators and Black comics are a thing, a real thing, and we're here to stay.
What's our next slide here?
There we go.
Derek? Oh, I don't think we're doing that slide. What's that?
That is a cover that was done by the amazing Keef Cross and colorist Will Katana. Now, we were challenged to do a cover by Herschel and a few other people. They were saying that, you know, the Water Independence #2 and Black Panther, I believe it was 38. You know, they had all these Black heroes, and, you know, I think the highest total was like 35. So we were challenged to do something with more Black characters than those two. So Keef Cross took the challenge, and he put over 40 Black characters on this cover alone. And this cover will be available to anyone who purchases the soft cover edition, the regular soft cover edition. But with the Black Comic Lords tier, you guys get every single cover, every variant, because we know you guys are collectors. And also, the first person who purchases one of those tiers, I got something a little special for them. I got a little gift set from Advent Comics for you, worth over $200. So if you get that package, first person that gets it, and you notify Black Comic Lords and I verify it, you got something special coming your way, in addition to the book.
This cover is absolutely fantastic.
It's stunning, absolutely stunning. And, you know, to Tony's point about upping the ante and finding people who could meet the challenge, we all know that Keef Cross is one of the best artists in North American comics. This is not up for debate, the same way that Brandon Thomas is one of the best writers in North American comics. Note, I did not say best Black artist or Black writer. I said best artist, best writer. And so Keef was a natural choice for this. We looked at the amazing work that was done in the Milestone relaunch for Blood Syndicate Season 1. And his colorist on that was the amazing Will Quintana. And so they just really seem to be a perfect fit. And if you look at the brilliance of this image, even though it is one image, which is a wraparound cover, as you go further to the left, the tone changes. So the left half actually has more of a bluish white background, and the right half actually has more of a purple. So even though it's one image, it will perfectly separate into two when the spine goes down the center. And, you know, we also really wanted to think about the collectors. There are people who they love books, but they love having all these different covers. So creating a tier like that, and a tier that is named after and represents you to the Black Comic Lords, all of you, just made perfect sense, because you're really one of the juncture points for the conversation today on Black comics. And so the scale of that kind of multi-book presence, collection that ambitious people will have on their bookshelves, you know, really speaks to thinking about the collectors, and also thinking about that this is a story for a bookshelf. This is not a story for a long comic book box. There are stories for those boxes. This one is for your bookshelf.
Wow. Well, I appreciate that, gentlemen. I'm sure the rest of the team appreciates that as well. But there's something missing on this particular cover. There's something missing. I can't quite put my finger on it.
Oh goodness! What you got to tell me because there's a lot in that cover.
Just add the logo to it. I am declaring right here, right now. You guys didn't list this as that, but I am declaring this the official Black Comic Lords variant. Because we asked you, we said, look, War of Independence had like 38 people on it. You got to do better than that. We need a cover, break the record in this historical making book, and you did it. And you
Record broken. Record broken.
This is our book.
Okay,
this is BCL's book.
I tell you what, we're going to make it work in a way that will surprise you.
All right.
We'll make it work in a way that will absolutely surprise and honor the Black Comic Lords and their capacity for unpredictability.
Mm-hmm.
So give us a shot and we'll do it.
We're going to promote this book as the BCL book. I don't care what anybody says.
Understood.
It's our book.
Tony, have you thinking about doing this as a poster as well? Or making
it will be a poster. There's a poster pack. The poster pack does not include a book. It's just the artwork from these various artists, and that is included in the poster pack. Yes.
All right, good.
I'll make a space on my wall for it.
No, it deserves it. That's what I'm thinking. It needs to have showcase.
Oh yeah.
All of the covers, but that's perhaps I'm a little biased. So
No, you're not. Amazing work, but was done by everyone. But this cover just speaks to the whole project, the characters coming together, the unity, and the various characters that are all shown. It speaks volumes. So yeah, it deserves a poster.
All right. So, Dr. Wizard, let's take the folks through some of the other pictures we have from this book. All right. So on the left, we have the Malachi family.
Yeah, that particular cover, actually, we did something a little different. People were saying, oh, if you make a goal, you make the goal, we'll show you what we have available for you at a later time. We're trying to make the goal, so we're going to show you what we have for you now. So the cover on the left, the Malachi family, that's going to be an exclusive cover that you'll be able to get. Once we reach the goal, that cover becomes available. And that's by Sean Hill and Christopher Sotomayor. And on the far right is a cover, Kickstarter exclusive cover called Absalom Dreams. And that's young Todd McCallie and the villain Absalom. And that was created by Sean Damian Hill and Tariq Holmes.
Wow. Let's go to our next slide.
Look at that.
This is beautiful. Who did this?
Yeah. It's a painted cover by Chris Mosby. I've been wanting to work with him for a while. I met Chris back in 2013 at the Milestone Museum exhibit. We were both in attendance, and the man is super talented. Most people don't know it, though, but the man is crazy talented. And when I started looking for cover artists, I reached out to him, and he was like, "You sure you want me?" I was like, I'm positive. And what he turned in, just, it renewed my faith in his ability. The man turned in an absolutely stunning cover.
Very nice.
He also, just quiet as kept, today's Juneteenth, he released this dope image. Check out our Twitter page or our Facebook page. He released a dope image he did for Juneteenth of a Captain Freedom character in the Juneteenth flag colors. So shout out to Chris.
Chris is super talented. He doesn't get enough praise, and with this project, that's the goal. The creators behind the scenes, giving characters, and the publishers who don't get the praise after this, they will and they should have, because they're doing amazing things.
All right, so we have the next group that's coming up. Gentlemen, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you
you
all
for
for
having
being
us.
here. Appreciate
Yes.
it.
Thanks,
Great to
man.
see everyone.
Mr. Pat, we got to bring you back on the show sometime, brother. Whew.
I would love, you call, I will be there. So,
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And Rodney, it's always a blessing to have you, sir.
Thank you, brother. Really appreciate that.
Thank you, Rodney. We appreciate your time.
All right, brothers. Y'all take it easy.
Y'all take
All right
care.
now.
Everyone have a good one.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So we have our publisher section. Where's Joe going? Joe left? All right, Joe left us. We've
Here
got
they come. These are the powerhouses right here. These brothers are the ones doing it.
When we talk about for us, by us, the by us part, not only in terms of the creativity involved in the writers and artists that put together these books, but also by those individuals who maintain and own the means of production, the publishers. When we talk about having our own agency in this business, in this culture, having the reins of control over these characters, those IPs, and what images get decided to be put, what type of stories get to be told. You can be the most creative person in the world, but ultimately you got to answer to an editor and you got to answer to a publisher and hope that they see your creativity. They hope that they see the vision that you have and are willing to allow you to put it out there. These are some brothers that said, you know what, bump that. Let's own it ourselves and do it ourselves so that we can get the stories and the images and the characters that we want that reflect us and our culture out there. So I'm just humbled to have these guys on here, to be honest with you. But let's jump into it. First on the list, other than Tony. Tony, we've already met you, but you're definitely in that category as well. Mr. Lonzo Starr, CEO of Concrete Comics. Got it. Concrete. Jiba Molei Anderson, Griot Enterprises, the Black Six Group. Thank you, sir.
Molei, by the way. Got the first one right.
Molei. Sorry.
No worries.
Andre Batts, Urban
Yes,
Style.
sir.
Dreadlocks. Love Dreadlocks.
OG himself. Thank you, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Tyler Forrest Martin.
Yes, sir. Mr. Godhood Comics in the house.
I didn't even know he was going to tonight. He just popped in.
Indeed. Oh, no, he ain't popping. He been around. Him and Lonzo, Marcus, Jiba, Mr. Batts, of course. These brothers been around. They've been around.
The most distinguished gentleman, Mr. Marcus Roberts. Everyone respects Marcus Roberts. He is a cornucopia of information and knowledge.
I appreciate it. I'm glad to be here. Honored once again to be on the Black Comic Lords show.
We're always honored to have you, brother. So, guys, you have committed your talents to helping make this come into fruition. I'd like each of you to say why you did it and why you think this endeavor is important. Marcus, let's start with you.
Well, my reasoning to me is more personal than professional because I have for years preached, promoted Black unity, promoted the whole stereotypical attitude of Blacks can't do anything together. And this is the opportunity to really show and dispel myths such as that, to show people exactly what it is Black excellence means in the comic book industry. And also, I mean, I get to work with people that I've been friends with on social media. They are my peers in the comic book business. Each of these people, each of these publishers you see represented, I know I own all books from all of them, but I mean, they really represent the pinnacle of what it is to be not just a Black publisher, but a publisher. I mean, they're actually showing the way for everyone. And I respect each and every one of them, and they know it.
All right. Jiba?
All right. So, a couple of reasons why I'm in this. I mean, first of all, this is history. You know, this is history being made. This is how much of a geek I am and an artist geek that I am. When I was coming up just in life, you know, just understanding that I was going to be an artist and a creator, I said that I wanted to be part of a movement. I wanted to be part of a movement like the Harlem Renaissance. I wanted to be part of a movement like the Black Arts Movement. I wanted to be part of a movement like hip hop. In other words, I didn't want to be the only one. I wanted to be in company with brothers and sisters making it, doing what we do. And Black comics in general, the Black comics community is that art movement for me. You see what I'm saying? So first of all, you know, just being a part of an arts movement that is moving the needle, you know what I mean, creatively, historically, is a beautiful thing, right? Second of all, this is an evolution of Black comics from all Negro comics, you know, to Black comics and Black Comics Returns, right? To the anthology series 4 pages, 16 bars that I curate. You know, this is the next step. This is all of us coming together, you know, not out of ego, not out of acquisition, not out of, you know, one dude trying to steer the ship. This is all of us coming together, creating a new multiverse, right? Where all of us publishers, all of us creators, you know, we have our part in it, we have our companies, so on and so forth, but we coming together just to come together. That's never happened before. I mean, yes, there's a financial, you know what I mean? There's a financial benefit to this, right? But the thing about it is that we all got together to create the Epiphany Engine because we all just wanted to come together and do a thing. So that's why I'm here. You know what I mean? To be a part of the movement, to be a part of the community, and to see the community come together and grow together. Because once this launches, like, all of us are going to benefit from this. And that is one of the most beautiful things to be a part of.
Yeah, I like the way you phrased that. It's kind of like if you could go back in time and record a moment from the Cotton Club during the Harlem Renaissance. If you could do that, would you do that? This is one of those moments. It's one of those watershed events, I think, that we're witnessing here. Speaking historical, Mr. Andre Batts, you've been in the game for a minute, sir.
Yes, sir.
Your book since the 90s.
Yes.
You know, oftentimes people said sort of the first Black Renaissance in comics was in that 90s era of which you came out. And they say that what we have now is our second or even larger Black Renaissance in comics. You have an interesting perspective in that regard because you've been there. Why did you get involved in this, and why do you think it's important?
Well, it's kind of hard to, first off, I want to say it's kind of hard to come behind Jiba with what he just said, because he just summed it all up in a nutshell. But needless to say, back when I first got started, we didn't have social media. We basically did everything by mail through the trunk of our cars, doing different shows like Black Expos and things of that nature. But everybody was basically headed in different directions, but we had the same goal, which is different directions. Even those that you connected with back then weren't really about doing something together on this level. We didn't have as many characters back then like they have now. When I came in on the tail end back in the 90s, I ended up meeting brothers such as Jiba, Kenji, and we would talk about this type of thing for years, and to see it actually get ready to come into fruition is amazing to me. It's just really amazing. I'm just glad to be a part of it because when Tony contacted me and mentioned it to me, of course I was like, oh yeah, sure, why not? Someone else did a crossover with some of the characters back in I think late 2020, somewhere around there. I think it was Dave Ryan who did the War of the Independence.
It was the early 2000s.
Early 2000.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Because it was right around the time Cosmos came out. So yeah, early 2000s, maybe like 2010, something like that.
Okay. Well, that was a good gesture then, and it was positive. But to see that, this is a FUBU type thing going on here for us by us, this just makes it more powerful for me. Because when I came out doing comics, you had the days of conscious hip hop, Public Enemy, X Clan, even Ice Cube doing his thing when he broke away from NWA, and that was the mentality back then. When you follow these different individuals as far as the music is concerned, you're heavily influenced by certain music, and it's really tapping into your energy. And at that time, we had the Rodney King beating that took place. We had several things. It's just the motivation for doing Black comics is really strong and powerful. And I just kept on doing it with the same thing that I had back then. And it's great to see, other brothers out here, younger cats coming up, doing their thing. Matter of fact, I met a couple of you. I met Lonzo a couple of years back at Black Label Con. It was a pleasure meeting you, brother. We had a nice little conversation. Jiba, I've been knowing you forever, and it's good. Marcus, maybe 10 years back, but it's good to meet all you brothers online. But I'm sure we're going to come together physically, and I'm just glad to be a part of this.
All right, thank you. Tyler Forrest Martin. Godhood Comics.
Got the full government name there, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. I'm just first of all to be in the room with Marcus and Andre and Jiba and also Tony, man. Tony, the mastermind. Just a straight honor. This was a no-brainer for us. I know, like, you mentioned us new guys, and I know me and Lonzo, we started at the same time, and we had the passion for it. And a lot of our first times, our first introductions to the community of Black comic book creators, a lot of the images that we saw came from you guys, right? A lot of the stuff that I was inspired by was Advent Comics when I discovered this online Facebook group, right? And as you connect and as you grow relationships and as you discover that these people have the exact same passion about creating comic books, diverse representation in comic books that you do, you built those connections. And I think this was something that we all have wanted to do for so long. The idea comes, it goes away, and for obvious reasons, right? We're all working super hard to get our brand out there. We're all making comics is no easy matter, right? It's long, it's tedious, it's stressful, it's painful, it's financially a burden, and so multitude of different reasons why it never happened. But we always wanted to do this, and Tony is someone who can not only get a book done, but take a book through all the different processes, right? From getting it done to printed to distribution. And so knowing that he was the head of this and he was running the forefront, we were all in. I know a few of us even got together on the back end in different group chats, and we were just so excited. It's Tony's heading it all. He's the point of contact. So we know it's going to be legit, and we know it's going to be a good job. It was a no-brainer for us at Godhood Comics. We always, we have these initiatives where my passion is trying to get more and more Black creators in creating their comic books. There's so much opportunity in it, especially now. And so just lending wherever I can, fitting in wherever I can, it was an honor. So I'm excited to see what happens, and I'm also super excited in helping out where we can.
Thank you. Lonzo, you're no stranger to these parts. What made you want to do this?
Well, firstly, man, when the Master Jedi's called down to us young Jedi's to do some work, man, we gotta come to the call. I mean, we gotta do our job. So, I'm always honored when we get the privilege to be in these rooms, because like Tyler said, we came up watching you guys blaze the trail, kind of set a standard and give us the comfortability to feel like, maybe I can do that, man. I can publish a book and publish myself. I don't have to feel like I gotta go somewhere else to put my book out. I can do this myself, So when I knew Tony was doing this, it was definitely like, this is about legacy. It's about putting your stamp on this time frame. 50 years from now, 100 years from now, we all gone. They're gonna look back on this Renaissance time period, and I want to make sure that our name is there, because this is what it's about. This is what we really are striving for, to create things that last, that can stand the test of time. And I believe that Epiphany Engine is gonna definitely do that. It's gonna be something that they talk about, like, y'all remember when all them black cats back in the day came together and did something? I mean, I want to be a part of that conversation. So I whatever I can do, whenever the Jedi Order calls, man, I'm here.
Tony, any parting words on this?
Thank you. No, I just want to thank each and every one of them, the publishers, the creators, the writers, the artists, for stepping up and being a part of this, because none of this gets done without you. You all are the key to make this a success. And I want to thank each and every one of you publicly. I've done it privately, but I want to do it publicly. Thank you. Appreciate you all. Love you all.
Love you too. If we have any up and coming creators that are watching this, and you're trying to get into the business, I would strongly encourage you to reach out to any of these gentlemen if you want to break into the business and get your works published. Contact them, reach out to them. They're all very accessible. So, gentlemen, I want to thank you for your time, and I want to thank you for your contributions to this endeavor, and wish you all very well.
Appreciate it. Well,
thank you, man. Thanks for having us.
All right, everybody.
All right, let's change everything, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
Well said.
And Paul, just to give you a quick heads up, there are more surprises coming, just so you know. So we may have to do this again at some point, because I held back purposely like 3-4 surprises.
Wow, man, you're like Santa Claus, man. You just the gift.
Hey, I told you, every time I come on your show, man, I got to bring some stuff out the bag for you. And trust me, what I'm about to bring out the bag, y'all are gonna enjoy. Trust me. Trust me.
Well, we have a couple other pictures here, a couple of the slides we want you to identify for us, and let people know what to expect on these slides.
That is one of the Kickstarter exclusive covers. That is the Absalom comic book, and that cover was created by Stanley Weaver Jr., LeBeau Underwood, and Christopher Sotomayor.
Wow. All right, let's check out this next one.
That's Eric Battle's cover. It was colored by Andrew Dollhouse. Eric and Andrew are household names. Pretty much every comic you're reading about Marvel and DC, they've either drawn them or colored them. But that's their contribution to Epiphany Engine, and it's the dope. Like I said, Epiphany Engine has a lot of different genres in it, horror being one of them, and that's a horror themed cover that they just absolutely crushed it. They crushed it.
Wow. Eric Battle's a legend too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What's our next
He
one
did.
here?
Yeah, Eric did one of the first covers that I did. I did an old crossover back in 2012, and Eric Battle did the cover, and I reached out to him. He did a 10th anniversary redoing of that cover for me, And like I said, I just enjoy working with Eric. Eric's a good guy, solid guy, great artist. So anytime I can work with him, I jump at the chance.
All right. Well, we have some questions from the chat.
Okay.
Let's bring those questions up. From Sexual Chocolate, my man Randy Watson.
Oh yeah.
See this? shout out to Proof Comics in Brooklyn.
Indeed,
Best comic
indeed,
store in NYC.
indeed.
Seeing as this will be crossover event, are there any Black indie books I should check out first, or can I jump into the Epiphany Engine without having read any other indie books involved? That's a very good question. How accessible is this?
Yeah, you can jump in and enjoy this, and you don't need advanced knowledge. But I will say that with this project, we are going to give each of the creators, each of the publishers, a rundown in the book. So you will have an opportunity to see these different characters, investigate them thoroughly by, discovering the publishers and going and checking those books out. So we're going to make it so that when you leave from reading this book, you're going to have about close to 50, 60 more new characters that's going to be on your radar, at least.
Okay. What's our next question here? Is Noble making an appearance? Noble from Lion Forge.
I know who he's talking about. Yeah, I know who he's talking about. There are some surprises in the book, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not going shoot the wad on the first shot. So we got a marathon to run. We got 4 weeks to run this marathon. So you got to tune in and look forward to definitely some surprises. Definitely some surprises coming in the way of characters and creators.
All right, back to Sexual Chocolate. Will the art style change based on the crossover story to fit that crossover character in the story, or will it be the same style throughout?
No, it does. We have various artists who we matched up with the genre of the story. Like I said, we have a horror section. So we put one of the artists who excels at drawing horror. So we have science fiction section, we have fantasy section. So you're going to see the art change and flow along with the story. And it's coming out to be beautiful. I mean, I'm not just saying that because I'm involved with it, but just as a comic fan of almost 50 years, it's beautiful. The work, I think Joe said it earlier, the work these creators are putting into not only the storytelling, but the art, it's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, I can't wait till you all just see it. I mean, it's going to blow a lot of people away. And I stand on that. It's going to blow a lot of people away.
All right. What's our next question? I think it's our final question. Have you shown the hardcover yet? That might be the one grab.
I haven't shown it, and only because the artist who is doing the hardcover hasn't finished it yet. That's the only reason it's not shown.
What you're saying is this cover is so fire, it's still being worked on.
You gonna get me to reveal nothing earlier than I need to reveal it. just suffice to say, when the hardcover cover is revealed, I think a lot of people may go back and either increase their order or add that book on as an add-on. And I'm gonna leave it at that. There are gonna be a lot of people who are like, oh snap. And I'm gonna leave it at that. But I will say, I will have information for you. At least once a week, I'm going to be introducing some surprise. I'll put it that way.
You hang out long enough in this space, and people just pop up. Eric Battle.
Somebody asked him, oh, Mr. Battle. Hey, what's up, E?
Hey,
just talking about you, brother.
I appreciate. I'm sorry I'm late.
It's all good. It's all good. Thank you for making the time to come on out.
Thanks for having me.
If you all don't know, Eric not only lent his talents to this fire cover right here that he and Andrew Dollhouse did. He's also lending his talents for the interior artwork as well. So you're going to see some amazing art from him, and hopefully we get him started on his section real soon.
Yep.
Yeah, the last thing I saw from you, man, was the Waller versus Wildstorm, which I absolutely loved. Fantastic work.
Again, I appreciate that.
So, the question we've asked all the creators who've been on here tonight is, what is it that made you want to get involved with this project, and why do you think it's important?
That's easy. Just the opportunity to work with so many other creators whose work I admire. Just to be a part of this amazing venture. It's a no-brainer. When Tony asked, I was like, yeah, absolutely. It's like, that's not even a real question. Again, it's important because it's what's needed in every way. So again, I'm just happy to be a part of it, and hope that I can contribute something that's worthwhile to it.
He will. He's been model. Yeah, if you've seen this man's work, you already know it's fire going in.
Yeah, absolutely. That's brilliant. Well, look, gentlemen, the Kickstarter's here.
Yes.
The Kickstarter's here. And Dr. Wizard, can we share? Yeah. Epiphany Engine is now active. We've been on here for almost an hour and a half. I hope that you all saw how important this book is, how this whole project, how important this whole project is. The very concept of bringing all of these talented creators and publishers together, unselfishly, that's a better word. Do something that's more important than any singular aspirations. It's a really important endeavor, and it's a brilliant endeavor. It's a historical endeavor, and I have every confidence this is going to be nothing less than spectacular. So the goal is, Tony, to get to what, 51,000? Is that the goal?
we need 51,000, and that funding includes. Now I've already paid a lot of this out of my own pocket, but to pay the remaining creator balances, to pay for the printing of the book, the shipping of the book over to us, and then shipping it out to each of the backers and the rewards and such. That's the amount that we're going to need, and we've already factored in the Kickstarter, them taking their money out. But we need 51,000 in order to make this book a success, and we're calling on each of you, please support the project and help us make this a reality. Like I said, this will be the first time that a project of this size and stature has ever been done, especially for us in our community. So if you believe in the project, you like the creators that we have involved in it, who are giving their time and energy and effort, please support the project and make it a success.
I don't even know how to say it any more than that. This is only one active today, correct? Today's the first day?
Today's the first day, yeah. And for us to make that amount on the first day, I want to thank everybody who has supported so far, who shared the project with their friends and over social media. Please continue to do so, because that's the only way we're going to make our goal, is if you guys continue to, spread it by word of mouth and over your social media platforms, your Instagrams, your Facebooks, your TikToks, however you want to share it. We appreciate it and we thank you for it. And we ask that, it's not just our project as the creators or publishers, it's our project as the community, the culture. So if you believe that the time is right, and, I've heard a lot of people over the years say, we need some more Black original superheroes. We need something for us. Marvel and DC ain't getting it done. Whatever your feelings are, this is it. This is it. Now's the time. Now's the time.
I'm looking at these names.
Oh yeah, this project boasts the most star-studded and accolade field roster ever. I'll stand on that. I mean, we got Glyph Award winners, we got Emmy Award winners, we got Oscar, we got everybody on this project. Yeah, Eisner Awards, Ringo Awards, you name it, we got it. We got it. We even have someone who's on a project. You met him earlier, Jiba. He's in the Smithsonian. So I mean, this is the real deal, folks. This is the real deal. We're not coming at you and giving you, some slum project. We give you the best of the best, cream of the crop. So you wanted it, we're gonna give it to you on steroids.
It's hard to even speak on this. I'm in such awe of the amount of talent that's attached to this project. It's incredible.
And if I could say one more thing, that's still not all the names. I left some names off because I need something, to keep the people interested and see what else is coming.
Wow. Sorry, I'm still looking at all these comments that are popping in here.
Yeah,
This is just
do that.
Whoo. Well, we've done our part. We've done our
Yes.
part. We keep doing it.
And thank you guys. You guys have always been open and accommodating to us. And when I came to you with the idea, you guys were like, sure, why not? You made room in your schedule to accommodate us, and I thank you for that. And like I said, I truly appreciate everyone affiliated with Black Comic Lords. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. You've been always very supportive of us as well. And this is what we're about, man. This is the epitome of what we in the Black Comic Lords community want to see accomplished. So we're here for it, and anything we can do to help make this a reality, we're going to do. So Tony, thank you again for your time.
Anytime.
Thank you for getting us involved in this. We're happy to do so.
Thank you.
So look,
actually, the idea sprang from the Black Comic Lords. So how could I not have you involved?
That's what's up. So listen, everyone, you see the product, you see what's coming. It's here. It's here.
Yeah.
We've been talking about it, and it's here. So I highly encourage all of you to please support this endeavor. This is an important one for our entire community, and quite honestly, for the entire comic collecting world. Yeah. This is a big book, and this is just going to be, as Joe said, it's for us, by us, but it's for everybody, right?
I was about to say that. I mean, we've assembled so much talent on this book that I don't care what color you are, it resonates with you because we aren't playing games. We got you the best writers, the best artists, the best colors, inkers, the best of everything. Not best black, not the best white, Hispanic. We got you the best, period. Right. Period.
This is going to be an incredible graphic novel, period.
Yes.
No other adjective necessary.
Yes. Yes.
So, outro, Mr. Dr. Wizard. Thank you all, Black Comic Lords.
Thank you for everyone who tuned in and everyone who supported. Keep supporting us. We appreciate all of your shares and your support. Thank you.
Till next time.